Hello everyone, welcome to class today. Make sure for this class that you have 2 blocks on the highest setting at the top of your mat, and otherwise we're going to get started in Tadasana pose. So make sure your feet are hip width apart, hips are stacked over your ankles, shoulders stacked over your hips. Relax your hands by your sides and just focus on a couple deep breaths. The theme of today's class is yoga to combat the weather blues. So whether you're feeling cagey because there's too much sun or down because there is too much gray weather or rain, this class will hopefully rejuvenate you, lift you up, and hopefully get you feeling in a better mood, no matter what about the weather is making you not feel so great. So take a couple more deep breaths, just one more. And then when you're ready, we're going to start moving through some spinal movements. So widen your feet just a little bit, bring your hands into fists, and we're going to do twists. And with each twist, I want you to hit your opposite hip and your opposite lower back. So you're going to kind of be twisting and sort of thumping yourself on your front hip and the opposite side in your low back, just like I'm doing in the screen. You don't have to make this intense. Obviously, don't hit yourself so hard that you hurt yourself, but you want a pretty firm thump. We're opening and wakening up our hips and our low back so they are engaged and ready for the work we are going to do. Go ahead and come to a stop. Bring your feet back together. Inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Keep your hands in prayer, and we're just going to sway side to side. Very gentle side bends. It doesn't matter how far you go in these. I want you to keep a very fluid movement. Imagine you're a palm tree in the breeze. You're just swaying side to side. We're waking up the spine in all of the ways it moves, all of the different directions. So we've twisted it. We're moving side to side. Go ahead and do one more each direction. Very nice. And then we'll open and close the spine, kind of like we do in cat-cow, basically a standing cat-cow. Inhale, open the arms wide, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, curl forward, wrap your arms around yourself to give you a hug. Inhale, open up the arms. Exhale, cross the arms in front of you to give yourself a hug, and continue just like that. Opening up into a baby back bend, and exhaling to close your arms in front of you. And maybe switch the cross of your arms every other time. Continuing just like this. It's basically a standing cat-cow. Very nice. Beautiful. And then kind of wiggle everything, let everything go, and we're going to come to the top of our mats. Into Tadasana, feet hip width apart. And then inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Very nice. Take a deep breath in. Lift up halfway, press your hands into your calves, lengthen through the spine as long as you can. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into high plank. Take a breath in your high plank. Very nice. And then lower either through chaturanga and up dog or all the way down to the mat and cobra. And then press your way back into downward facing dog. Just walk out your downward dog here. Maybe bending into one knee and then the other. Maybe bending into both knees to lengthen through the spine. And then walk forward, walk, step, or hop. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, relax forward. And then inhale, roll all the way up to Tadasana. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that one more time, kind of this slow sun salutation. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, bend the knees, fold forward. Take a deep breath in, lift up halfway, lengthen through the spine as much as you can. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank maybe with the opposite foot. Hold your plank, and then exhale, either lower all the way down to the mat through cobra or chaturanga to up dog, and press your way back into downward facing dog. And again, bend your knees, maybe walk it out, or just find some stillness and press through the heels as much as you can. Continue to breathe. Very nice. And then walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Very nice. And then roll all the way up to Tadasana. Inhaling the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. Now make sure your 2 blocks are on the highest setting at the top of your mat, about underneath where your shoulders will be. Inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Bring your hands to the blocks. From here, we're going to come into a pyramid pose. So just relax into your forward fold for a second. Prepare yourself. And then on your next breath in, step the right foot back about 2 feet or so. We don't want a super wide stance here. I want you to be able to keep the blocks underneath your shoulders and have your spine nice and straight, just like when we do a halfway lift in our sun salutations. Press your hands into the blocks. Press that right heel into the mat. Get a nice hamstring stretch. Make sure your hips are nice and aligned. Make sure your right hip hasn't decided to fly up to the ceiling. And then keep your right hand pressed onto the block. And if it's within your practice, open up the left arm to the ceiling for a twist. If the twist is too intense for you today, you can just stay pressing both hands into the blocks. Very nice. And then exhale the twist back down. Step the right foot forward and relax into your forward fold. Very nice. Maybe sway side to side here. Taking a couple deep breaths in. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So step the left foot back and anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, not too wide. Make sure your hips are nice and square. Bring the blocks so they're directly underneath your shoulders and press into your hands and see how much you can lengthen out your spine and straighten your spine, almost as if I had a nice little China tea set and I wanted to balance it on your back. And really press that left heel into the mat as well. And if you can't press your back heel into the mat, just step that back foot forward a little bit more so you can. If you want to come into the twist, plant your left hand on the block and open up the right arm up to the ceiling. And if holding your arm up is a little too much, but you still want to get a nice twist, you can bring your hand onto your hip and focus on opening across the shoulders. Or you can just opt out of the twist, whatever you're feeling today. If you're in the twist, go ahead and gently bring it back down. And then bend the left leg, step it forward into your forward fold. Set the blocks off the mat and just sway side to side into your forward fold. Gently roll all the way up to standing. Inhale the arms up overhead and exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. We're going to come standing along the long way of our mat, feet as wide as is comfortable. We're going to come into goddess pose. So toes out, heels in. Inhale the arms up overhead and exhale, bend the knees, fold post the arms into your goddess pose. Inhale up into 5-pointed star. Exhale down into goddess pose. And move through that transition just a couple more times. Inhaling to straighten, exhaling down into goddess pose. And then come into your goddess pose and we're just going to hold it. If you want to sway side to side a little bit, you can. If you want to see if you can sink a little bit deeper, by all means, go for it. Just a couple more breaths here. Beautiful. Come back up into 5-pointed star. Pivot the feet so they are parallel to the short edge of the mat, toes facing forward. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forward into your wide-legged forward fold. And then just maybe sway side to side here if that feels good. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other if that feels good. Kind of choose your own adventure. Feel out how your body feels today. Come back to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Very nice. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees and roll all the way up to standing. Very nice. And then we're going to step back to the top of the mat and flow down to the ground. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, plant the hands, and we're going to come right back into tabletop pose. So make sure your hips are over your knees, shoulders over your wrist. We're just going to move through a couple very gentle cat-cows. Inhale, shine the heart forward, broaden across the chest and shoulders. Exhale, scoop the spine up to the ceiling. You can move as fast or as slow here as you like. Just match the movement to your breath. So on the inhale, you're opening the chest, and on the exhale, you're scooping the spine up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Come on up onto your knees and bring your hands to your low back, almost as if you were going to bring your fingers into your jean pockets. And then just press your hips forward with your hands and lean your back a little bit. Beautiful. Come back up and we'll do that again. We're not coming into full camel. We're just pressing the hips forward and opening across the chest. It doesn't matter how far back you bend. Beautiful. Come back up, sit the bum back onto the heels, and let yourself come into a closed-legged or child's pose. And again, just breathe here, nice and gentle. Letting the spine even out. And then come back up to a seated position, and we're going to finish this class with a very gentle, long-held legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall, you can always just lay down on your back and bring your legs up so the feet are towards the ceiling. And you can hold that as long as is comfortable. If you have a couch or a chair, you can always scoot your bum up to kind of the edge of the chair or the couch on the floor and let your legs rest on the seat of the chair or the couch. Or if you have a wall, you will slide one hip up to the wall as close as you can, and then just sort of windmill the legs up so they're leaning against the wall, and then just relax your hands by your sides. Close your eyes. If your feet start to fall asleep, that's okay. Just hug your knees into your chest. And otherwise, enjoy legs up the wall as your Shavasana. To come out of legs up the wall, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes first. Bring a little bit of movement and sensation back into your feet. And then very gently hug your knees into your chest. And let your body start to adjust after being in a gentle inversion for so long. Go ahead and roll over onto one side. Take a couple deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, press yourself up into a cross-legged seated position. Inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. exhale, pull the hands through the midline to heart center. And when you're ready, you can open the eyes. I hope after this fun movement practice, you feel a little bit better. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new yoga videos every Thursday. And until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.